I'm going to talk about the exciting subject of life, disability, and long-term care insurance. And usually not the most exciting subject matter, but I think it's very important that all of us understand what is life insurance, what is disability, and what is long-term care insurance, and what does that mean to you and your clients and or people you know that have young families and businesses. So as you can see on this particular screen, I started in 1982. Um, and what I did when I started, I was just a young buck and I didn't know anything and I had to learn the hard way. I'm going to talk first about relationships and things that I've developed over time with centers of influence, with clients of mine. And I'm going to give you a real quick story, as I said earlier, I would do. So I had someone who bought insurance from me 20 years ago. He was at that time 50 years old. Now, one of the things that people don't do is they don't take my advice, and it's very frustrating. Those who have done really, really well in my career and in their career. But this particular individual said, I'm going to keep my term insurance. And if I need it later on, I'll buy it when I'm older. And I advised him to convert some of it to permanent insurance. And that's for another discussion. So, of course, I get a call 2 weeks ago. Hey, Michael, it's John, and I want to keep my insurance. What's it going to cost me now? Well, his original policy cost him 2,500 a year. Now it's going to cost him 15,000. And he was a little frustrated with that, but he needed it and he had to do it. The point is, if you need life insurance, if anyone needs life insurance, it's usually a bell curve need on a personal side. When you have young children, the need is high. When they get older, your need goes down. But if you have a business and you have a key person and you have, or a buy-sell agreement, you need to fund that. You need to make sure that if this person dies, that the business will receive income because that individual means so much to the business that it will affect their bottom line. So that money comes to the business tax free, which brings me to one of the things that you need to know about insurance. Life insurance benefits are tax free. Disability benefits are tax free. Long term care the premiums can be deducted. It just depends. And of course, Greg can verify this, but C corporations can do up to 100% of the premium. If you have an S corp, it usually means that if you own more than 2% of the company, you can deduct the premiums. LLCs really depends on the age, and the IRS caps certain deductions, but that if you want to know more about that, contact me after the meeting. Next screen, please. So one of the things that I do that Natalie mentioned is I specialize in Lloyd's of London. Now, why do I specialize in Lloyd's of London? The reason I do is because some individuals who make high incomes above 20,000 a month usually cannot get the kind of disability coverage they need through traditional carriers, traditional Northwestern Mutual, Travelers, Guardian, Mass Mutual. These are companies that when traditional insurance is sold to them, they can only get a certain amount and their coverage ends at 65. I'm 65. My clients are around my age and are older than me. And when their disability premium comes, it would go from 5,000 a year to 12,000 a year. And they have to be completely disabled and do no other profession at all. If they make any money, it gets deducted. So we developed a long-term disability product for over 65 that acts like a traditional policy when they're younger. It's a unusual product that has a need for anyone working beyond age 65. I'm not going to go into the details because I don't have time, but the bottom line is that we will protect your occupation. If you become disabled, you can work elsewhere or make money elsewhere and still receive your benefit tax-free, and the premiums are guaranteed to age 70. You cannot get that with a traditional policy. Next screen, please. So when you deal with someone that has multiple employees, and they have a group plan, let's say. If you look here, most group plans are 60% to 10,000 or 15,000. What does that mean? If you're earning 10,000 a month, the max benefit they're going to pay you in group disability is 6,000 a month. If you're making 20,000 a month, the most they're going to pay is 6,000 a month. So what we do is we offer Lloyd's of London supplemental coverage up to 25,000, 50,000. It doesn't matter the amount. That's where Lloyd's of London is so special in my practice, because when you have someone that makes a lot of money and they want to protect their income, the traditional market does not service them the way they should be serviced. So they come to us and we're able to get them what they need. So I just discussed what disability is, but I want to go real quick. This is not on here. Um, Long-term care. I've discussed this for years. Greg Simon advocates it constantly when he gives his presentations. Um, it's not easy to get. The younger you are, the easier it is to get. I've shared this before. Over 60% of applications that we submit in our office get declined. Why? Because they don't remember who the vice president is, or they don't remember certain things they should know. And they think, the carriers think, well, maybe dementia's setting in. The carriers are crazy. They want healthy people, and it's very frustrating for me. So it'll be frustrating for you if you wait. When should someone look into getting long-term care insurance? At 50 years old or over. That's a good time to look at it. The rates are cheap. The rates are somewhat guaranteed depending on the product, but that's for another discussion. So long-term care, very important, covers the expenses when you get older. Shared this before. The average daily cost these days is about 200, 250 a day for from 8 hours a day. It's very expensive. It can drain your savings very, very easily. So to this new estate planning partner of ours that's in our group, I'm sure you know that long-term care can be an estate planning tool to save assets in an estate. Okay, so this basically says what it is that I do, a lot about my history. I send these out to prospects that I meet, tell them a little bit about me, because as I said earlier, positive attitude, portraying yourself out to the world as someone who knows what they're talking about, a professional, a center of influence for people that you meet. You can become that if you have the professional way about you, you know your product, and you show up to all your appointments on time and you do everything you promise. It's always better to under-promise and over-deliver. And that's what we do here at JDC. And that's my presentation.